Hello class, welcome on the onset of online learning platform. I am English teacher Gaurav Rai. Welcome you once again in this online learning platform. In the previous class, we have read the chapter The Ashes that made trees bloom. In the previous video, we have known that how the covetous fellow, greedy fellow, they wanted to become prosperous, they wanted to get more gold, just like the kind old couple. And when they had taken water and milk from the old couple and they started to make rice pastry, they wanted to convert the rice pastry into gold and bean sauce into gold after watching what had happened with the old kind couple. So when they used the same thing, they applied the same thing, but what they got, their masses, the rice pastry and bean sauce had been converted into foul mass of worms. Foul means you can say that with a bad fragrance, bad smell had started to come, and all the heaps granary had been converted into foul mass of worms. Bad smell, we can say that. So after that, in this video, in this class, we will study here the further subtopics which are, and we will start today from second part, page number 60. So I hope that you are enjoying the classes properly. So don't miss anything, whatever you are getting here. You have to observe the word, the difficult word, and you have to write the word meaning in your rough copy or on the same place with your pencil. You have to keep pencil in your hand to get the word meaning. So come on the chapter. Not long after that, the good old man dreamed again, and the spirit of the dog spoke to him, telling him how the wicked people had burned the meal made from the pine tree. Take the ashes of the meal, sprinkle them on the withered trees, and they will bloom again, said the dog spirit. In the previous video, we have known that when the wicked old couple, they had used mortar and meal for making rice pastry, converting rice pastry and bean sauce into gold, and what they got only a foul mass of worms. So what they had done, they had chopped the meal into pieces, and they had used the pieces of the meal to burn, to make firewoods in their house. Understand? So once again, the spirit of the soul of the dog came in the dream of the old man, and he said that, telling him how the wicked people had burned the meal made from the pine tree, take the ashes of the meal, sprinkle them on the withered tree, and they will bloom again. The dog spirit. The soul of the dog had said that in the dream, that go to the house of whom? The wicked old couple, and take the ashes rock of the mill, and you have to use these ashes to sprinkle. Sprinkle means to scatter. Sprinkle means to scatter into pieces. So scatter, chidakna, to sprinkle the ashes on withered. The word meaning is given in your book. Withered means dried, barren, bare and dry, सूखा जिसको बोलते हैं. You have to sprinkle the ashes on the withered tree, and the tree would bloom once again. The tree will be from lifeless condition, the tree will be converted into lifeful condition. The tree will be alive. the dry tree. Understand? Come on, the next. The old man awoke and went at once to his wicked neighbor's house, where he found the miserable old pair sitting at the edge of their square fireplace in the middle of the floor, smoking and spinning. From time to time they warmed their hands and feet with the blaze from smoke bits of the mill, while behind them lay a pile of the broken pieces. After that, when the instructions, whatever said by the dog's spirit, the kind old man followed, and he reached to the house of the wicked old couple. Miserable means wicked old couple. And when he reached there, he got that the wicked old couple were doing what? They were using firewood, and they got that sitting at the edge of their square fireplace. They were sitting and they were doing what? They were smoking and spinning. Understand? And from time to time they warm their hands and feet with the blaze. Blaze means bright flame from the mill pieces of the pieces of the mill that had been chopped, that had been cut by them. They were using as a firewood, and they were keeping their hands and feet warm by the fire. And there lay behind pieces of mill. Understand? Pile of the broken pieces. When the old man reached there, he got the wicked, miserable, wicked old couple. They were sitting on the fireplace, square of the fireplace, and they were spinning and smoking, and they were doing what? They were keeping their hands and feet warm with the blaze, with the flame, with the sparkle, with the light of the fire. And there, where they were sitting, there behind, pieces of meal were kept. Understand? The good old man humbly asked for the ashes, though the covetous couple turned up their noses at him and scolded him as if he were a thief. They let him fill his basket with the ashes. And what had happened after that? When the good old man, humbly, gently asked for the ashes, though the covetous, greedy couple turned up their noses. Turned up their noses means that treated him with contempt. Treated with contempt. They were envious, shallow. They were showing contempt. Ghida karna, hatred. They were showing hatredness there. And scolded, rebuked, chided, डांटना, फटकारना. Just like he is a thief. Who is a thief? Kind old man is a thief person, and they had permitted him to take the ashes, but they were treated badly. Turned up their noses, treated him with contempt, treated with him with hatredness. And they scolded, rebuked, dante. They have rebuked, chided him. Come on, the next paragraph. On coming home, the old man took his wife into the garden. It being winter, their favorite cherry tree was bare. He sprinkled a pinch of ashes on it, and lo, it sprouted blossoms until it became a cloud of pink blooms which perfumed the air. The news of this filled the village, and everyone ran out to see the wonder. And when the old man returned to his home, he took his wife into the garden. He brought his wife into the garden, and it was winter, and they reached their favorite cherry tree was there. The cherry tree, a kind of tree, that was bare, that was withered, they reached near, and after that he sprinkled a pinch of ashes on it. And he sprinkled, he scattered, he had thrown a pieces of ashes on the withered sukhe cherry tree. And what had happened? The tree had been bloomed. Pinch of ashes on it, and lo means see, it is sprouted. And what had happened? Put forth shoots, and the tree started to bloom, sprouted, blossoms until it became a cloud of pink blooms which perfumed the air. And after that, after that, what had happened? After some time, the tree had been bloomed, and you can get pink blooms on the tree. The tree had been bloomed, and the blooms, and all over, all everywhere, we can see that it had been sprayed pink bloom on the cherry tree. It had sprayed, pink blooms had been sprayed on the tree, and the air had been filled with fragrance, sugandh, because of the blooming of the cherry tree. Cloud of pink blooms which perfumed the air, and the air had been perfumed, scented. The news of this filled the village, and everyone ran out to see the wonder. And when the news had been spread, everyone had run to see the wonder. So what had happened there? The old man sprinkled the ashes on the withered, dried cherry tree, and the tree had been bloomed once again, filled with what? Pink blooms. And after that, the air had been perfumed, scented, and the news had been spread everywhere, and the people of the village had been astonished, surprised to come to see the wonder what had happened there. The covetous couple also heard the story, and gathering up the remaining ashes of the mill, kept them to make withered trees. And when the news had been come in the ears of the covetous, greedy old fellow, when they heard the story, and gathering up the remaining ashes of the mill, they started to collect the remaining of the ashes, the remaining ashes of the mill. And what had happened? Kept them to make withered trees bloom. And they thought that they will make the withered trees bloom. They had kept it. They had collected, gathered. Understood? The kind old man, hearing that his lord the daimyo was to pass along the high road near the village, set out to see him, taking his basket of ashes. As the train approached, he climbed up into an old withered cherry tree that stood by the wayside. And after that, what had happened? The old man heard the news that the daimyo is coming. What do you mean by hearing that his lord? Lord means, as you can say that, on that time king. Daimyo means the landowner, the big landowner. Understand? In the book you have read it, daimyo in the starting. Daimyos in 19th century Japan, wealthy landowners. The wealthy landowners in Japan, they were known as daimyos. When the old man listened that the daimyo is coming, the kind old man, hearing that his lord the daimyo was passed along the high road near the village, set out to see him, taking his basket of ashes. As the train approached, he climbed up into an old withered cherry tree that stood by the wayside. And when the old man heard the news, he had taken ashes in his basket and went near the village, and where he got that, where from the place the train would pass. Train means that the train means here we say that where the soldiers, the king, the daimyo will pass with soldiers in a procession. So he thought that he would what? He would climb on a tree, withered cherry tree, and he would throw the ashes, and the ashes will work and tree would be bloomed. And the train approached, he climbed up into an old withered cherry tree that stood by the wayside. And after that, when he heard the news, he read on the place and he climbed on the withered cherry tree, and he was waiting the daimyo to come. Now, in the days of the daimyos, it was the custom when their lord passed by for all the loyal people to shut up their high windows. They even pestered them fast with their slip of paper so as not to commit the impertinence of looking down on his lordship. All the people along the road would fall upon their hands and knees and remain prostrate until the procession passed by. And it was a custom in the old days when the daimyo, the great lord, would pass. Every people what would do? The loyal people, they would shut their windows and they would paste paper on the window so that they would not show the impertinence. It indicates that they are not impertinent. Impertinent means bold, to see the lordship. It was the custom not to see the daimyo, the lord, from the window. So they shut their windows, they pasted their windows with a slip of paper so that they would not show their boldness. Impertinence means boldness, to see the lordship when the daimyo would pass. All the people along the road would fall upon their hands and knees and remain prostrate until the procession passed by. And when the procession julus, when the daimyo would pass with soldiers, with band of musicians, a lot of persons will be with him. On that time, people would prostrate, lying prostrate, just like you prostrate in front of God, Allah, or God. In the temple in Moscow, you lying prostrate completely, your body will be downside, your front body part will be completely on the earth. In the same way, they prostrated, the people, they were lying down on the earth when the daimyo would pass. It was the custom. Hands and knees and remain prostrate until the procession passed by. So in the last paragraph, we read that it was a custom on that time when the Lord daimyo would pass, everyone will shut their windows and they would paste a piece of paper on the windows so that they would not see the Lord, see the daimyo. And if they would see, it means that they are bold, they are impertinence. जिसको हिंदी में हम क्या बोलते हैं? ढीठ. They would show impertinency. So they were closing their windows, pasting their windows with paper, and the people were lying prostrate, completely fall down on the earth when the procession of the daimyo would pass. So in this video, we have studied that what had happened. The big old couple, they had taken the mortar and mill, they burnt it. When they did not got the gold, and after that, when the kind old man had taken the ashes that was said by the dog in his dream, to use the ashes to make the trees bloom. So the kind man had taken the ashes, but the big old fellow, they were unwilling to give ashes, and they scolded, rebuked, and they showed hatredness towards the kind old man. But they had given him the ashes, and the old man heard the news that the daimyo would pass from the way, from the village. So he climbed on the withered cherry tree, bare, सूखे cherry tree पे, climbed on the cherry tree. And it was the custom on that time, when the daimyo would pass, people would lying on the earth completely, they would paste their windows with slip of paper, they would shut their windows, because if they would watch the daimyo, it would indicate their impertinency, obstinacy. So I hope that you have understood all these topics clearly, and in the next video I hope that the chapter will be completed. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you.